Hello, friends. I hope you all are doing very good. And I'm back with a very hot topic, and which is mainland versus free zone versus offshore. Because I felt a lot of clients are confused between these terms. So I just thought it's better that I come and I clarify to you guys what exactly mainland free zone and offshore means, and especially for those who are planning to set up their companies in UAE or have any such vision to have their companies in UAE in near future. So this is a video which is going to give you clarity and overview, and also will answer a lot of your questions and doubts regarding these terms. Yeah, so let's get started. So let's start with the mainland. What is mainland? So mainland is a jurisdiction. Basically, whenever we form a company, we should know in that respective country where exactly, which part of that country, in which jurisdiction we are going to have our company formed. So when we talk about UAE especially, it is majorly divided into three sections. One is mainland, another is free zone, and one is offshore. So talking about mainland first. So what are the things that help you decide which of these are going to be better option? So one is what is going to be your business activity. Second is what is going to be your type of activity, and the third is what is going to be the target audience. Yes, these are the things that will help you decide what should be the jurisdiction of your company. So when we talk about mainland company, what kind of people should have their companies in mainland and why? So anybody whose target customer is in UAE, inside UAE, like your clients to whom you're going to cater are going to be inside UAE, then mainland is a very good option for you. I mean, that is the ideal option for you. And what are the benefits? See, you get unlimited activities, the license is issued by Dubai Economic Department or any of the economic departments of that specific Emirates. So as you know, there are 7 Emirates in UAE. So every Emirate has a mainland, and the economic department of that respective emirate is the one who issues mainland license. So if you want to open license in Dubai, the license will be issued by Dubai Economic Department. Likewise in Sharjah Economic Department, in Ajman Economic Department, right? And the rules and regulations are also laid down by the UAE government from the mainland economic department. What are the other points? You can get up to 50 shareholders in your license. You can add shareholders whenever you want. You can easily get the bank account. That won't be an issue. And you should maintain bookkeeping. You should register VAT for your company. That is very important because for all the mainland companies, 5% VAT is applicable on the services. So you have to ensure that you are VAT registered. And but do you need to file for VAT right after company incorporation? No. There are certain benchmarks laid down by the government. Once you reach that benchmark of revenue, only then it becomes mandatory for you to file for the VAT. Otherwise, at least you should have VAT registration in place, and 5% VAT should be applicable on all the services that you provide. All right. What else? Yes, you can have LLC company, limited liability company. I hope you understand, and if you don't and you want me to come up with a video that explains the difference between LLC, civil company and all, we can have a separate video. Do let me know in comment box. So when you are making a company in mainland, so you can be a sole owner of the company, or you can make it in partnership, and it could be limited liability company. If it is a professional activity, it will be a civil company. If it is commercial, then it is limited liability company. That means for professional activities, limited liability is not an option available for you. And because there are 7 Emirates, so there are 7 mainlands. I already told you that the license is issued by the Economic Department. So this is pretty much about mainland. So it should be very clear that mainland is an option for all those whose target customer base is inside UAE mainland. For them, this is the best option. You get unlimited visa. However, you have to apply for the quota, but there is no restriction as such with regard to number of visas. So if you're planning to have a big team going forward, you are going to hire a lot of employees, then mainland is a very good option. And also bank account is comparatively easy in mainland. So this is more about mainland. Here you can have tourism activities, commercial trading activities, you can do consultancy services related activities. All the activities are available. However, you cannot club these professional and commercial activities. It is not that you can have a consultancy activity along with trading. That's not possible. Also, within the same license, there are certain groups, so the activities have to be from the same group. If they are from the same group, then you can have unlimited activities in certain activity groups. So that you need to discuss when you are planning to start. Also, many people have questions regarding ownership in mainland companies. So earlier there was a rule that for the professional activities you could be 100% owner. When I say you, means expats. And for the commercial activities it was mandatory to have a local sponsor in the license. But now, since the beginning of 2021, actually government had come up with the amendment late in 2020, but it got effective and started rigorously from 2021. So now government has come up with the flexibility, and it allows all the expats to have 100% ownership even in commercial activities. And this is a very big move, I should say, because most of the companies in Dubai are for trading, especially some of the activities like foodstuff trading. That is one of the most common activity. So now expats can have 100% ownership in all the activities except for few. However, there are very, very limited exceptions, but majority of the activities, irrespective of them falling in professional category or commercial category, expats can have 100% ownership. But yes, there are certain criteria how you can actually avail it. There is a process. I'll make a separate video. If you want to have 100% ownership, then what are the criteria? What is the procedure basically? So if you are inside the country, are you as an expat, do you have residency visa or no? So all these are the factors which are going to basically decide how you can get 100% ownership, because the procedure then gets little bit changed based on whether you are outside the country, whether you have UAE visa already or no. So we'll have a separate video on that. But yes, for now you need to know that in mainland, for almost all the activities, with very few exceptions, you can have 100% ownership as an expat. All right, and most of the other points I have covered. If there is anything else that you want to know about mainland, you can definitely raise a question in the comment box. So we shall move to free zone. So what's free zone? And what are its benefits? What are its restrictions or limitations? Right? So talking about free zone. So in free zone, basically it's a free trading zone. So entire UAE has around 45 free zones. Every emirate has a different number of free zones, and these are free trading zones which give you certain flexibility, some exemptions. And that is why, because of the change in rules, because the rules in free zones are not regulated by mainland economic department or Dubai government company laws, which are meant for mainland companies. Free zone laws are moreover governed by free zone authorities, and they may also slightly vary from each other depending on free zone to free zone. So that's the point one. And second point is, what kind of company should be there in free zone. Basically, if you are somebody who is into import export kind of a business, wherein you import items from one country and then you export it to another country, and you are not selling your products inside mainland, majority of your transactions are like this, then free zone is an ideal option for you. And here in free zones, the packages, the license fee depends on how many visas you require, because there is limitation with regard to visas. So you have to be very clear that how many visas you require. Based on that, your license price will be decided. The prices are frequently changing in free zones. And none of the free zones have exactly same prices. There can always be variation in the prices. They are always coming up with different offers. Validity also lasts usually for a certain period of time, so prices are frequently changing as well. What else makes free zone different? So one is very clear, that it is an ideal option if your target market is outside UAE, or if you want to trade or provide your services within that respective free zone. So what if you want to sell your products or services outside the free zone in the mainland? Is it that if you have a company in free zone, like you are somebody registered in free zone, then you just completely not sell your products and solutions in mainland? Is it like that? The answer is no. You can, but yes, there is a certain procedure you need to follow in that case. You just can't directly sell. You would have to either make a distributor in that respective mainland. Suppose you are registered in Sharjah free zone, you want to sell in Dubai mainland, so you better have a distributor that's registered in Dubai mainland, and then through them you can sell your solutions. Otherwise, you can form branch companies. If you are registered in free zone and you want to deal directly, then you better have a branch company in mainland, which will be branch of your free zone company, and then directly you can sell your products and services. However, remember, in that also there are certain restrictions. It's not applicable for all sorts of products and services providers. Like there are certain industries and certain activities wherein this may not be applicable, so you just have to confirm in advance. All right. What else about free zone? So there are certain free zones that are specialized in certain products and services. Like DMCC is a free zone which is renowned for gold trading activities, then or precious metal trading. So it is renowned for it. That doesn't mean you cannot have this activity registered in mainland or in some other free zone, but it is renowned for it. Likewise, there are certain free zones which are specially for media activities. However, they also allow other activities. So this is how it is. Some of the free zones are meant for specific activities and they hold expertise in those business activities, but most of them are open for all sorts of activities. When you are planning, you need to check with your consultant that whether this free zone is allowing these activities or no, and you have to be very clear with your activities. Explain your activities very clearly to the agents that you work with, so that they'll make sure that a right free zone is chosen for you. Then apart from this, in free zones, I already told you that it's based on number of visas, so you should know how many visas are maximum allowed. Also, free zone to free zone, it depends how many activities you can take. Unlike mainland, you can't have unlimited activities in free zones. Some free zones would allow 3 business activities, some may allow 7 activities, some may allow 2 activities. So it depends on free zone. So that is something that needs to be checked in advance. And VAT is not applicable in free zone because it is a free trading zone, so no VAT, at least not for 50 years. And regarding customs duty, even that is not applicable. That's why it is a free trading zone. That's the second advantage. When we talk about rules will be applicable of the respective free zone, which wherever you are registered, that respective free zone's authorities, rules and regulations will be applicable. Not the mainland rules will be applicable on free zone company. So you can have multiple shareholders. Usually they allow more than 10 is allowed in, up to 10 is allowed in all the free zones. Some of them allow even up to 50 shareholders. I don't think anybody would require that much, but still you can easily have multiple shareholders. That's not an issue. You can have bank account also open for free zones. However, for certain activities, depending on if it is complex or something, you may face certain challenges, but it depends on how well versed and how good contacts your agents or agency has with the banks, so they can guide you properly and can help open the bank account as well. So the auditing usually does not happen in free zones, but yes, you must always maintain bookkeeping, but it doesn't mean that it can never happen. UAE rules can change anytime, but unlike mainland, it's not something very regular. You better maintain bookkeeping, and if at all there is any auditing, you should always be ready for it. However, it's comparatively less. Yeah. Other than this, you can open limited liability company in free zones. The name would depend on, like it would be free zone establishment if it is a single owner. In different free zones, somewhere it is mentioned as FZCO. So all those differences will be there. So majorly, free zone, if I have to summarize, is something very good if you are not dealing inside mainland, or maybe 80% is outside and 10-20% is inside, so you can manage inside through a distributor, or maybe in future you can open a branch of your company in mainland and can deal. And you don't want unlimited visas. You have limited requirement of visas, like 3, 4 or maximum 6. So that should be a point you should consider. And you want exemptions from taxes and all, and it's comparatively cost effective. Prices are changing frequently, and bank account depends on your activity and your agency, your consultants. So now we shall talk about offshore. So what are offshore companies and who should go for this option? Yeah, so see, offshore is something like wherein you have nothing to do with the customers inside UAE, not even in the free zones, and your purpose of making a company is basically to protect your assets. So you can open a holding company. It's a good option. Offshore is a good option for a holding company. So say you have most of the transactions happening outside from different companies, so that's a very good option. And if you don't require any visa or anything, so because in offshore there is no visa, there is no office. Offshore is basically you just want to keep your business transactions sort of private without government interferences, and you want to do not want to get involved with taxes or the mainland and the companies' laws that are applicable in the mainland companies and free zone companies. So outside country you want to manage your transactions and everything. In that case, offshore is a good option. Secondly, here you get 100% ownership. That's not a problem at all. You can get a limited liability company. But yes, one thing is there, that because you don't get residence visa, you don't get any office here, so that's why opening a bank account could be a bit challenging, because bank account requires residency and bank account requires office address as well. But here we are not getting that, so that doesn't mean you can't have offshore. That depends on your business consultants, your agencies who are assisting you with the offshore license. they should be able to guide you and assist you with regard to bank account. So whenever you are planning to open an offshore company, you better discuss about bank account with them in advance. Will they be able to assist you or know what options are there? Because rules are also changing and all frequently, so you should take the advice. Then in this you can maintain your bookkeeping, not because there is any auditing. Auditing doesn't happen in offshores, but in future, if you plan to say liquidate your company, you would be requiring the bookkeeping records for that purpose. So you better maintain bookkeeping for all types of companies, irrespective of mainland, free zone, offshore. It is always good to have. And it is something which can also help you get the properties, investments and all you can do inside UAE if you have an offshore company. So you can use that offshore company for the investment in real estate inside the UAE. That allows you. So that is also there. So you can have multiple shareholders as well. So this is pretty much about offshore. So I hope now you'll be able to differentiate between mainland, free zone, offshore.